Amy's garden, and I am trying something new today. This is my first year growing Iceland poppies, and I've actually had great germination. In fact, maybe a little too much in parts of this tray. I am coming through and I'm going to now thin these Iceland poppies that I sowed about 2.5 weeks ago. And I specifically remembered when I did this, I was really delicate on this side of the tray and very heavy-handed on this side of the tray. And you can totally tell the difference here. I'll give you an up-close peek too. So on this side of the tray, you can see there's not as much, and the ones that are germinated, there's less in each cell. And as we shift this way, a lot of greenery, a lot of germination. So I'm going to come through today and thin some of these out so that the seedlings that I do have can be very strong instead of crowded in their root systems and potentially a weaker flower, more than likely a weaker flower. So, full disclosure, I am no Iceland poppy expert. They are notoriously difficult to grow, or can be, so this is an experimental season, but I'm super excited I got a lot of germination so far. That's a start. Now the ones that I'm going to pick are the ones that are looking stronger. So if there's some that look weaker, I'm cutting those guys out. I want the strongest ones to survive. I'll give you an idea about what I'm talking about here. So if we look here, these two are both really strong looking seedlings. I should thin one out so that one can really grow and prosper, but that's the idea of what we're looking for here, is a really healthy seedling, whereas something less strong would be something like this one. So the process of thinning always tugs at my heartstrings, and most people's heartstrings, because you feel like you're killing plants, but really you're making room for the strongest plants to survive and have a better chance of survival for your plants overall, if that makes sense. So this is my first thinning experience this year, so we'll see if I can really thin as many as I'm supposed to. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm just using a pair of scissors, and honestly, these are pretty big and bulky. I'd rather have something that's small and slender that I can really go in and clip easily, but this is all I could find today, so we'll make it work. Okay, let's go in and thin. Wish me luck. I'm gonna come in and do the bulky side first. Okay, here we go. Let's get through this jungle. Oh gosh, it's so hard to cut them every single time. Okay, it's for the greater good. So this one that's nice and big and upright and looks strong is the one I'm gonna try and clear things out around it. Made it through that. Here's my pile that I thinned, and up here these two sections are done. So I left 3 in this one and 2 in this one, and I also watered them because it was pretty dry. So I'm gonna go through and do the rest of the tray. This side is bound to be a lot easier than this. If you're still watching now, it'd be a great time to subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden. For anyone who saw my 3 fails and 3 wins or successes for seed starting so far this season, I dumped a whole tray, my first tray of Iceland poppies, all over the floor. So this feels good to see this greenery and germination. I'm also going in and using my hands for some of these. I'm learning that's a little easier as well. If you're using your fingers, you just have to be careful that when you're pulling it out, you're not pulling on the roots of the ones that you want to keep in. Made it to one. Woo! If I feel that the soil's dry, I'm just coming in and watering really gently around it. So I've accidentally pulled all of them out of one cell. I thinned to just one and I was coming back through and I pulled it out, just a lapse in concentration. So I'm gonna try these really two healthy ones I showed you in the beginning. I'm gonna try transplanting one of them to this cell. I know Iceland poppies don't like their roots disturbed or to be transplanted. So we'll see how this goes. Woo, those roots are deep. Oh boy. Okay, well, it's upright for now. Looks like it may be okay. Fingers crossed it works. Here's the cell I transplanted from. It was real close to this one. And here it is. So far it looks okay, and so far this one looks okay. All right, I've got these all thinned. I'll give you an up close look in a second, but first I'm going to bottom water these Iceland poppies by putting about a ½ inch to an inch of water in this water holding tray. Okay, let's take a close look. Here is my discard tray, everything that I thinned out. And now here is my tray of thinned Iceland poppies. So this is the only one I left 4 in because they all looked so healthy. So I'll come back in and thin a couple of those out in a week or two. But otherwise, much less crowded, more room for some of these to really flourish. And this one here is the one I transplanted. It's starting to sink over a little bit, so I'm a little nervous about that. But the one that it came from, this one's still looking really upright. So fingers crossed, these all work out. And if you're curious, this batch is the Nudical blend, I believe, by Botanical Interest. I also have some trays of the Champagne Bubbles Pink and Champagne Bubbles mix that are downstairs. I'll take you down real quick to see how they're germinating. They've just been planted more recently, so some don't have any germination, some have very little, but we do have some germination, so that's a plus. Okay, this tray right here is the Champagne Bubbles Pink, which were planted on February 22nd. Today is the 28th. And the regular Champagne Bubbles mix also on the 22nd. And these are looking a little dry to me for sure. So I'm gonna come in and give them a nice big heavy watering with my spray bottle here. Then we've got the lid back on them and we'll put them back down under the grow lights, give them some more time to germinate. I know they say not to top water the poppies because the seeds might get displaced, but I really didn't have a problem with it with the other tray. And then downstairs we've got my other tray. I just took the lid off. We've got this half over here is the Iceland Poppy Champagne Bubbles, and you can see we're starting to get some germination here on the outside corners, still waiting for some on the middle. And these were planted on the 16th of February, so a little before the upstairs tray, but they're coming along. And that'll do it for this video. I'm done thinning my first tray of Iceland poppies that have germinated, and you got a little bit of an Iceland poppy update overall with the seeds that I've sown. I'm pleased so far with the progress. I'm going to take it a day at a time with these, as I know a lot of people tend to have difficulties with them. So I'm happy so far that I've got something to work with right now. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet to keep up with all things garden around here, and like this video if it was helpful. It really helps out the channel, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Happy planting. Bye.